All right, so we got 10 heartwarmingly wholesome moments in Warhammer 40k. Wait, that's a thing? Like I didn't know that that this franchise had like a heart. I didn't know that this franchise had love or something. I didn't know.
Warhammer 40k is full of death, destruction, genocide,
Yes.
and occasionally some sex. It is called grimdark for a reason, where morally good people are few and far between, fighting a desperate losing struggle against the darkness that threatens to sodomize all. Metaphorically, of course. But did you know that throughout all that depressing loss, there are moments of pure wholesomeness?
The only wholesome moments that I can really think about is Vulcan being born. I think that's the only one that I can really think about.
When characters go that extra mile to look after the well-being of their fellows and share a special moment. Moments that make your heartstrings go tingly. There have been more than one occasion where I've gotten a little giddy while listening to a Warhammer audiobook due to how unexpected a beautiful moment was. Before we get started, I'm a big believer in the philosophy that everyone should have a sensible day job, but also to invest in a side hobby or hustle which could end up delivering them to their dream situation. I mean, that's literally what I did with YouTube. As such,
True,
you only
same.
have a limited time to not only learn, but also enjoy your hobby. So why waste hours tripping over yourself, making mistakes, breaking shit?
Oh, by the
when
way,
you could just
make sure
learn
you guys
it
like the video,
all
subscribe to the channel if you guys are
online in a
new.
tenth of the
By the way, I
time.
have a Twitch,
That's what
twitch.tv/KingIndy with two
Skillshare
Y's
is,
actually
an
on the
online
screen,
resource where creative
down below.
experts
You know, if you
have
guys
produced
like,
and cultivated
in case you like
dedicated
need like a
courses
visual,
for you
like
to go from
help to like put it in,
disgraceful
it's
noob to
fine.
wise
All right,
master in
let's
no
go back.
time. You want to learn photography? There's a course for that. You want to become an Adobe god? Courses for that. You want to learn how to become a YouTuber, which is the same as learning Adobe and photography? There
True.
are courses for that. Why use Skillshare over something like YouTube? Well, that's because any basic drongo can upload a how-to video on YouTube. Especially now since dislikes have been removed, it's really hard to tell what's quality and what's just clickbait. The presenters on Skillshare
True.
are all vetted for quality, meaning you aren't wasting your time trying to find a decent source. Also, there's no ads. With all that in mind, the first 1,000 people to use my link below and sign up to Skillshare will get their first month free.
Ooh.
Meaning you can jump on, see if it's the right fit for you, and then either go for it or pull out for free. Cheers to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Today we'll go over 10 heartwarming wholesome moments from Warhammer 40k. There are actually a lot more than 10 moments, so if this video does well, like and share, then there's no reason why I won't make another one.
Yeah, bro. Like and share, bro. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, not much else to say about it. So grab your teddy bear and let's get into it.
Oh, let's get into it. All right, come on.
We all know and love
Vulcan.
the chapter master of the Blood Angels, Dante. And it's no secret that Dante is fucking sick of Warhammer and he just wants to die. He literally says it on the regular, how he wants nothing more than the cool embrace of death. Fair enough, if I was 1,500 years old and had fought every horror the galaxy had to offer, I'd probably want to eat a bullet as well. After being horrifically wounded, yet achieving victory over the Tyranids during the devastation of Bul, Dante begins to die, and he feels peace for the first time in years. He sees the Sanguinor in a vision, and he begins to accept his death. Then the Sanguinor steps aside, and Sanguinius is standing there. Dante is like, holy shit, hey dad, is this it? Can I finally die? And Sanguinius is like, no, you must suffer more for the good of mankind. Your destiny does not end here, Lord of Angels. Then the peaceful sensation of death vanishes and the agony of life returns as Dante comes back to life and consciousness. Now I get why that doesn't sound super wholesome. Dante was denied the one thing he'd earned and wanted. But you gotta remember that Sanguinius is dead and his soul is broken. For him to pull himself together enough to give Dante the will to keep fighting would have taken a massive amount of effort. Sanguinius knew he was asking a lot.
I mean, okay. I guess, but I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. If the guy wants to die, let him die.
Dante, so he took it upon himself to be the one to ask.
YouTube, I'm talking about Warhammer, by the way. Yo, YouTube, I'm talking about Warhammer. I'm not talking about like, yeah. You get it. Okay, you get it. Okay, cool.
Moment between father and son. Orcs are a pain in the ass and not very.
They
wholesome.
are.
However, the pressure they put on the galaxy can create wholesome moments. When a big-ass orc war attacked Rin's world, the homeworld of the Crimson Fists, shit didn't go so well for the boys in red and blue. Their fortress was destroyed and most of their brothers died. During the evacuation and the long-ass walk to somewhat safety, a journey that included many civilians, a mother who was carrying her 2 children collapsed in exhaustion. Pedro Cantor, the chapter master of the Crimson Fist, got others to take the children off her. He then reached out to her, with his battle brother believing he was going to deliver the Emperor's mercy, aka a cheeky neck snap, to the exhausted woman who could barely keep her eyes open. Instead, Pedro said, "You have done your part and carried your burden. Now it's time someone carried you." Pedro then lifted up the woman and carried her the rest of the way. I reckon the Crimson Fists are actually pretty underrated.
Okay, that was actually pretty nice. You know what? Yo, hey, round of applause for this guy right here, man. That was nice.
Especially when
That was nice right there.
Salamanders. To say tech priests are cold and emotionless is a bit of an understatement. The majority of them have the emotional parts of their brains removed and replaced with bits of metal and computing hardware. So when they do end up acting with emotion, it hits that much harder. There were two tech priests who were in love and considered each other husband and wife, despite the Mechanicus not really believing in that sort of thing. When the Wordbearers attacked Calth at the start of the Horus Heresy, they were positioned to get a pretty easy win. However, an Ultramarine counterattack made it a lot tighter. That key counterattack was only possible due to the love of these two tech priests. Early on in the invasion, the husband tech priest was killed. However, he had created an antivirus that could protect against the Wordbearer's scrap code, hence re-enable a lot of the Ultramarines' technology. Only his wife was able to uncover it due to the bond they shared, with the override code to launch the antivirus requiring two numbers. One was the day she was born, the other was the day she became a tech priest. If they just had a normal professional relationship, it's unlikely she would have recognized the antivirus he created, and it's impossible she would have known both his override codes.
Okay.
So, there you go. Even on the battlefield, love can bloom.
That was nice.
Another
That was
wholesome
nice.
tech priest moment was when a lonely male tech priest on a far-flung station decides to clone himself to get an assistant as well as a successor. However, the clone turned out to be a female, hence quite different to himself. This kicks in his fatherly instincts, which overrides his mechanical processes, and he raises the clone like a daughter. He forsakes all Mechanicus protocols because it makes her happy, teaching her everything he knows so she could surpass him one day. The most
that's
heartwarming
nice.
part is the fact that generally, the protocol would have been to exterminate the clone due to the incorrect gender, but he did the literal exact opposite. Vulcan as a character is
Nice. Hey. Everybody settle down. Everybody settle down, okay? This is what I see. This is why. Wow, man, bro, even his name, bro, fills my heart with so much joy.
wholesome. Like, holy fuck. This isn't news to anybody, with the Emperor literally saying that Vulcan was his greatest creation because he had what no other Primarch had: genuine kindness and empathy. However, the most wholesome moment out of everything was when he burned that fucking elder child. Yeehaw! No, sorry, it's when Vulcan offered Dorn a hug after they had gone through so much shit. Dorn makes a joke about not wanting to hug Vulcan, but Vulcan hugs him anyway, and after a moment, Dorn hugs him back. It's important to remember how much shit the loyalist Primarchs had gone through, losing their brothers, getting tortured.
Man, bro, like, me just saying, bro, Vulcan, like, me just said his, like, I just said his name, and I instantly got emotional. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro, like, wow, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. If me and Vulcan was hanging off a cliff, bro, I would do everything in my might just to get Vulcan off the cliff, bro. I'll fall. This is, wow. Wow, bro. Gave him a hug. He said, man, I don't want a hug, man. I don't want a hug. He said, come here, bro. Come here, bro. Take this hug. And he hugged him back.
Seeing centuries of progress turn to dust, a hug was exactly what they needed. Imperial Fists and Iron Warriors hate each other. This is common knowledge, with no other rivalry in the entirety of 40k coming close. So it's funny to think that two of the most well-known characters from each legion shared the most wholesome friendship. You've probably heard of Alexis Pollux, a huge Imperial Fist Astartes with an intellect that could rival the Primarchs. He was an absolute specimen. Then there is Barbarous Dantiok, a genius god-tier Iron Warriors warsmith that told Perturabo to eat a fat dick when he turned traitor. After fucking over Purdy like a boss, Dantiok retreats to Ultramar and is ordered by Guilliman to try understand and use the Pharos device, a mysterious Xeno beacon with very potent powers, such as the ability to teleport people across the stars instantly and act like a mini Astronomicon. It pretty much won the Loyalists the war. Pollux arrives and isn't keen on seeing an Iron Warrior garrison, even though they are loyalist. So whilst they agree to work together by order of Guilliman, the Imperial Fist look down on their Iron cousins. However, eventually, Pollux and Dantioch develop a mutual respect that becomes a friendship, that becomes a brotherhood. When Pollux fought Conrad Curse on Macragge, Dantioch used the Faros device to save Pollux. He would save Pollux again by blowing up the Faros device, mortally wounding himself. Pollux finds his brother's broken corpse and cradles it, insisting he will live, as the Iron Warrior's life slowly faded. It was very much comparable to King Theoden's death scene with his daughter comforting him.
Game of Thrones?
Except instead of a chick who pretended to be a dude, it's a giant Astartes who is almost as...
No comment on what Majorkill just said. But wait, was that Game of Thrones or not? It looked like Game of Thrones. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've heard of Game of Thrones before, obviously, but like I never really watched it like that. No, I think I watched one episode of it, but I forgot.
The Primarch. It gets even more wholesome. Pollux refused to leave Dantioch's body, guarding it despite the battle being over. Guilliman himself has to come in person to relieve Pollux of his vigil, and even then, Pollux insists on being the one to carry Dantioch's body. This level of emotional connection is extremely rare for Astartes, made even rarer by it being between a fist and an Iron Warrior. It's implied that if Perthy wasn't such a bitter shithead and Dorn wasn't such a closed-off brick wall, they could have formed a similar bond to this. Although Warhammer is all about eternal war and whatnot, numerous Primarchs and even the Emperor had genuinely planned for an era of peace and wholesome family bonding post-Great Crusade. The Emperor had created different rooms for the Primarch within the Imperial Palace, whilst Guilliman had done a similar thing in Macragge, even including rooms for his two lost brothers. When Dorn was taking down all the Imperial Palace's pretty shit and replacing it with a fuckton of...
Wait, so the Emperor even made two rooms for brother number 2 and 11? Really?
Guns and other anti-chaos stuff, which wasn't exactly aesthetic. He felt a lot of sorrow and mused that when the war was over, he would restore the palace to its prior beauty. It shows that there was hope. The Primarchs and even Space Marines would discuss what they would do after the Great Crusade regularly. You know Ahriman, that legendary sorcerer of death who wants to crack open the Black Library? He originally wanted to tend his vineyard full time when the wars were over. The Night Lords aren't exactly known for their wholesomeness, especially since they threw their lot in with the traitors. However, they did have their moments. Most notably was the relationship between Talos and his slaves, Septimus and Octavia. He was very harsh and cold, but occasionally would open up and humour them. This next bit is a bit spoilery for those reading the Night Lord's Omnibus, so feel free to skip
Spoiler
ahead.
alert,
But
spoiler
when he knew
alert.
he wasn't going to survive his next battle, he freed both of them from his servitude and told them how to best escape and survive to raise their child together.
Oh,
It was
nice.
nice. Continuing about Night Lord wholesomeness, Sevatar is a beast and one of the best Astartes to ever live. He also possessed an extreme sense of justice. When he was captured and imprisoned by the Dark Angels, he made friends with a young Psyker girl in a nearby cell. Upon discovering that the prison overseer had viciously beat the shit out of the poor girl, permanently crippling her, he broke out of prison and brutally killed the overseer, before then surrendering to the Dark Angels and going back in his cell. Wholesomeness doesn't always have to involve hugs or love. Sometimes it just means murdering the
Bro, he stood on business. I'm gonna be honest with you. That was kind of cold. Bro broke out. He killed the guy that did it. That did that to the girl, and then said, "Here, bro, put the cuffs right back on me."
fuck out of an abusive
I'm gonna
household.
be honest with you.
And finally,
That was cold.
Guilliman's relationship with Guilliman is a very wholesome thing. This peaked when Guilliman was stuck behind an invisible wall that blocked a portal that led home to Macragge, but he could see and communicate with the other side. However, when he found out that his mum had nearly been torn to shreds by Conrad Curse, he simply walked through the invisible barrier through pure force of will, just so he could comfort her. If you enjoyed the video and you want to support the channel, then Patreon is...
Okay, this is where we gotta, listen. Oh, man, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel if you guys did enjoy, man. Make sure you guys go check out Majorkill in the description down below. Bro, also, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel. Yo, by the way, I have a twitch.tv/Kennedy with 2 Ys. It's on the screen as well, just in case you guys need like a visual help or whatever. Other than that, man, thank you guys so much for watching. Merry Christmas to everybody that's watching. I'm gonna see you guys next time. Peace out.